Welcome to the Bulldogs Draft Special, featuring Oliver Jones and Liam Smith. The Raiders have the first overall pick and are now on the clock. With the Bulldogs up fourth, we have time to talk about their needs. Let's start with departures this offseason. On the offensive side of the ball, we lost starting quarterback Seth Smith, starting tight end LeBron James, and starting center John Cena. That is quite the blow, Liam, but unfortunately, the defensive side of the ball was hit significantly harder. Starting on the defensive line, Dwayne the Rock Johnson decided to head back to Hollywood. Roman Reigns went back to the squared circle. And lastly, Bill Goldberg hung up his cleats with the full intention of enjoying retirement. On special teams, punter Darren Erstad and kick returner Usain Bolt have both hung up their cleats. Now moving to linebacker, we have another trio of retirements with Terry Crews and the Hardy Boys, Matt and Jeff. That's 11 key positions the Bulldogs will need to fill in this draft. Speaking of the draft, the Raiders have made their selection. They have taken left end Max Simmons out of Miami. He was the number one player on most teams' draft boards, and with a need at end, it is no surprise that the Raiders went this route. Next up is the Chargers, who have a desperate need for a pass catcher. You know who else needs some pass catchers? That's right, it's the Bulldogs. With the retirement of LeBron James, the already thin receiving core got just that much thinner. This is why I think the Bulldogs will take a receiver with their first pick. That's very possible, Oliver, but personally, I think the biggest need for the Bulldogs is quarterback. That is why I think they will take Marvin Lester with their first pick. Oh wait, this just in. The Chargers have taken wide receiver Malcolm Hunter out of Boston College. That's a real blow to the Bulldogs' needs, but with the Jags on the clock, the Bulldogs are now on deck. But first, it's time for a commercial break. Hi, I'm Bob Johnson, and I'm here to tell you about the quality products you can find at Quality Motors. Here at Quality Motors, we have the finest used cars, which have all gone through a rigorous 4-point inspection. And don't worry, if it needs something, our used car manager has scrounged eBay and junkyards to find you the best used parts out there. But we don't just have these quality used cars, we also have a fine service department. And here we are in front of our wonderful service department where you can get the best service around. But don't take my word for it, let's head inside and talk to some of the employees. And back here where the real magic happens, as you can see, Joe's getting ready to do a tire flush, but that's not the only service we offer. We'll also flush your ball joints, your wallet, and top off your blinker fluid. And hey, if you're a do-it-yourselfer, come on in and visit our parts department. We are stocked to the gills full of product to sell to you to use at home. We're back, and during the commercial break, the Jaguars took Clifford Booth from Washington. Now the Bulldogs are on the clock. The Bulldogs are trading back. They are sending the 4th overall pick along with a 4th and 7th round pick to the Rams in exchange for the 7th and 39th overall picks. By trading back just 3 spots, the Bulldogs have picked up a day 2 selection that will likely start for them day 1. And after acquiring the 4th overall pick, the Rams have taken tight end Dustin Lowe out of Boston College. The Redskins must have known exactly who they wanted because they have already taken Oklahoma State linebacker Timmy Hoffman. That is a great pick by the Redskins because Hoffman can really get after the quarterback. With the selection of right guard Caleb Sundberg, the Bulldogs are once again back on the clock. With the 7th pick in the draft, the Bulldogs select wide receiver Roy Rutledge out of Auburn. This is a tremendous pick for the Bulldogs. Rutledge is both the fastest and strongest receiver in the class and should compete for a spot on opening day. The Bulldogs are once again making moves. They are sending the 36th, 68th, and 79th picks to the Giants in exchange for the 16th overall pick. With this, the Bulldogs select Blair McDaniel out of Stanford. I can't say enough about McDaniel. He has the strongest arm in the class and excels at throwing the deep ball. Blair McDaniel will be the Bulldogs starting quarterback from the season opener. Oh hi, I'm Bob Johnson, and I'm here to talk about the new Extinguisher Bat. This bat will extinguish all your opponent's hopes and dreams with one swing of the bat.
Extinguisher Bat is not responsible for your weak-ass swing. Possible side effects are muscle pain, back pain, loss of vision, headache, nausea, stomach pain, hemorrhoids, and bloating.
Welcome to day 2 of the draft. The Bulldogs are currently on the clock, so let's take a look at the positions we expect to be addressed. After taking wide receiver Rutledge and quarterback McDaniel, the Bulldogs offense is in a much better position, but they still have a need for a starting left guard, right tackle, and depth at running back and tight end. And on defense, they need a run-stuffing tackle and an outside linebacker who can get after the quarterback. Unfortunately, this class only has 2 edge rushers, and Hoffman is already off the board. This just in, the Bulldogs have taken right outside linebacker Greg Tomlinson with the 7th pick in the 2nd round. Tomlinson figures to step right into a starting role in this thin linebacking core. The Bulldogs have made their 2nd selection of the day. Free safety Sylvester James is the newest London Bulldog. While it is unclear how James will see playing time with all safeties returning from last year's team, James is the best safety in this class, so there is little doubt that he'll be finding his way into the field one way or another. That's right, Oliver, but now it's time for a message from our paid sponsor. Hello, I'm Bob Johnson, and today I'm here to talk to you about Oh Shucks. At Oh Shucks, you can get the worst quality parts at a reasonable price. Will they fix your car? Probably. Will they last long? Most certainly not. Did you save a little bit of money? Just a teeny tiny bit. But not only can you get a shoddy product at an average price, but you can deal with our wonderful service staff. We're 75% are part-time, so you will never get the highest quality of service. Would you like to talk to someone who's experienced? Well, you should go down the street and talk to just about anybody else. But if you want a shoddy product at an average price and talk to a moron, just come and visit us down at Oh Shucks. 'Cause, I got the wrong part. Oh Shucks. We're back, and the Bulldogs have made a selection with the 23rd pick in the 2nd round. They are addressing the problem they had at right tackle by taking Connor Portis out of Oregon. Right as always, Liam. Right tackle was a real turnstile last season. But wait, what's this? The Bulldogs, who have the 24th pick today, are trading out of this spot in exchange for a this year 5 and a next year 2. We are now back in the 3rd round, and the Bulldogs have made their selection. With the 11th pick, they are taking wide receiver Deion Haskins out of Washington. That's interesting that with so many holes on this team that they would elect to select another wide receiver so early in the draft. Maybe GM Bobb Johnson is wanting to give his rookie quarterback every opportunity to succeed. The Bulldogs are really taking advantage of stockpiling so many draft picks. They are taking with the 18th pick in the 3rd round, left guard Richard Epstein out of Minnesota. What a great pick by the Bulldogs. With last year's starter moving back to his natural position of center, there was a vacancy at left guard. The Bulldogs are back at it. With the 23rd pick in the 3rd round, the Bulldogs are taking right guard D'Angelo Dunn from Rutgers. That's interesting, going back-to-back guards, but I think it's a wise move. Before the draft, there was only one guard on the roster, so adding a 2nd and 3rd will be great for competition and depth. Hold on there, Oliver. The Bulldogs have already taken a player with their 24th selection, this time taking defensive tackle Marcus McManus out of Buffalo. We knew this was coming. With the retirement of a trio of D-tackles, it was only a matter of time before GM Bobb Johnson selected one in this draft. Now in the 4th round, the Bulldogs have used the 4th pick to take middle linebacker Denzel Bradley out of Purdue. This pick is a solid indication that all starting linebacker positions are open for competition. I agree completely. Bradley is mostly a run-stuffing thumper, so he'll contribute most on 1st and 2nd downs.
In a world full of danger, one frog does all he can to make the world a better place.
Hi everybody.
But he must take on his greatest foe yet. Hey kids! Kermit the Frog versus Krusty the Clown in...
Oh no you don't! Ha! You're mine now!
Oh, well, never mind. Disney owns it now. Coming to a theater near you.
Welcome to day 3 of the draft. The Bulldogs are on the clock early with the 4th pick in the 5th round. Oliver, why don't you tell us what the Bulldogs should focus on in these next 3 rounds? Thanks, Liam. Wow. The Bulldogs need a puncher, pass rushing D-tackle, and depth at tight end and running back. That's right, Oliver, and you were spot on. With the 4th pick in the 5th round, the Bulldogs have taken defensive tackle Mike Hamilton from Washington State. He fits your description perfectly. A pass-rushing defensive tackle who can get after the quarterback. But what's this? It appears the Bulldogs have made their selection. With the 24th pick in the 5th round, they have gone back to guard, taking Julian Godwin out of Washington. They didn't need a guard, but you just can't pass on talent like this so late in the draft. We are now in the 6th round, and the Bulldogs have made another selection. With the 4th pick, they have taken wide receiver Richard Franklin from West Michigan. And another fantastic pick made by Bobb Johnson. Franklin isn't a world beater, but he will likely be the team's starting punt and kick returner. He also played a little bit of tailback at West Michigan, so he could easily fill that third down back role this team has so desperately needed. The Bulldogs have made their final selection of the draft. Who's it gonna be? A punter. Hi, I'm Bob Johnson, and welcome to From Garden to Table. Today, we are making hummus. Let's start with, of course, the chickpeas. Dump those in the old blender. And of course, add a little bit of liquid for some moisture. 2 tablespoons garlic. Isn't garlic the best? Of course it is. It is delicious. Olive oil, you gotta get it, 2 tablespoons. Here we go. Of course, some lemon juice. That adds a nice little zing to it. And cayenne pepper. Gives you that nice little punch in the face. And the most important ingredient, don't ever forget it, 1/3 cup tahini. And for a nice little smoky flavor, you can go ahead and add some smoked paprika to really give it a nice little punch. Blend and eat. Bon appetit. This has been a From Garden to Tables production. Enjoy!